What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger. We are back at you again today with another MLB 16 The Show Dynasty online gameplay. Now, earlier in the week, there was a discussion going around on Twitter. Which game mode is better, Dynasty or Madden Ultimate Team? And that's actually not the topic that I wanted to get into, but it sparked up something else. I saw a lot of people say that they quit the show because they found it was too difficult to hit. Now, last year around this time, I would probably agree with you, but what I did is I made a change. I switched over to zone hitting, and it's a topic that I've been wanting to go over for a while, and I got the perfect gameplay for it, and I think it's the perfect time to talk about it. Now, I don't know if this is uncommon. I don't know if a lot of people don't know about zone hitting. If you do, well, great. I'm happy for you. But I noticed, and maybe you can leave your experiences down in the comments section as well, but I noticed ever since I've done it, I had a lot better time hitting the baseball, getting on base, scoring runs, hitting home runs. I hit a lot more home runs now because of zone hitting. So hopefully I can help some of you people out who are struggling to hit the baseball in this year's game. So if you don't know what zone hitting is, it's a batting interface that allows you to kind of select where you want to swing the bat, if you will. You get to move your analog stick to the area where you think the baseball is going to go. And in my opinion, it allows you to get a lot more power, a lot more contact on the baseball. It's just overall helpful. That's if you are good at picking up your opponent's tendencies, meaning where they like to throw the baseball, what type of pitches they like to throw. So this game I mentioned is a perfect example. You can see we're here in the 5th inning, and for the most part, I was struggling to do anything offensively, and then I finally recognized what my opponent was doing. And you're going to see the next couple batters here, I take advantage of it. He kept throwing low and inside, and that's really a good sweet spot for me. And I finally keyed in on it. It kind of took me a little longer than expected, but we finally got it here. You see, we're going to get 3 base hits in a row, and he just continued to pound the same part of the plate, and he made a big mistake here. He's going to do it for the 4th time in a row, and we're going to get a grand slam. So a game where I just couldn't get anything going. We busted open here in the 5th inning and get 4 runs across home plate. He gets a little angry there, throws at my pitcher. I think that was just whack, but don't worry about it. We got the win here. We got the lead here, and he would continue to kind of throw that way throughout the game, so you guys will see in the rest of the game. So one other thing that kind of made me want to talk about this topic was last week, I dropped a gameplay where I hit a grand slam with Nolan Arenado, and one of the comments in the video was every time he pitches the ball, he being my opponent, and this commenter said, every time he throws the ball, your zone interface is right where the ball is going. And he almost said it as if it was like I was glitching or the game was glitching and helping me out. And that wasn't it. Really, what I did, same thing in this game, same thing with this opponent, is that I just picked up on what my opponent was doing. And there's some things that a lot of people commonly do online, and once you get more practice, you'll pick up on these things, even if you have to write them down just to kind of get them in your brain. But this is why zone hitting is so great. And also, when you're playing against somebody who is zone hitting, you want to make sure that you mix up your pitches, mix up your locations. You just can't become too predictable, because that's when good hitters are going to make you pay, and that's also just how to become a good pitcher as well. So in that game last week, one thing, and this is something that I notice a lot of people do, is they like to pitch to the cold zones. So if you don't know what those are, when you're looking, when a batter first comes up, there's kind of a red area, and then there's the blue area. Blue area is obviously the cold zone. But I do notice that at least the first time around the batting order, people really, really like to pitch towards that. So I'll move my zone hitting interface over to the cold zones, and a lot of times you can hit home runs or get really, really good contact if you time your swing right. Another thing that people like to do is throw high fastballs on 0-2 counts, or not even 0-2 counts, but 2 strike counts. So that's something that I like to do. And then there's other guys who might pick up that you are using zone hitting, and so they'll kind of get into the same pattern where they'll throw a changeup and then maybe a fastball high and then a fastball low. Whatever the pattern may be, if you can kind of key in on that, you can actually kind of fool them into throwing a pitch that you want them to pitch by maybe taking a couple strikes, taking a couple pitches. But all in all, it's a really good tool. Now, there's a different a bunch of different, I guess we'll call them interfaces or reticles, whatever they're called, that you can choose from when selecting zone hitting. I like to go with, I don't know which one I use. I don't know what it's called. Some of the other ones, there's one with like a red dot, there's a wedge. Some of them I just find too distracting, but the one that I use, it works for me. I would recommend, if you're going to try to make this switch, go ahead and jump into some exhibition games, maybe do a couple online, not online, but home run derbies. Just get familiar with it, because you don't want to just jump into an online game right away and start swinging away. You're going to keep getting frustrated and probably won't be able to pick up on it. Get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with some of the batters that you like to use. Maybe play some just exhibitions, whatever you may do. But if you are having a hard time hitting the baseball, I recommend trying zone hitting. So you see, it worked out for me. We busted this game wide open. We're here in the 9th inning. We're going to get one out. We got a man on third, though, and we're going to get a second out here, keeping the runner at third. And we got one more batter to face, and we're going to get a pop-up over by first base, and we're going to get the win. The grand slam ended up being huge in the victory. Logan Forsyth, I probably butchered his name, but that was the first game I ever played with him as well. So that really worked out for me. And you know what else worked out for me, guys? If you watch the end of this video, it doesn't look like we're going to get a great card, right? Well, for some reason, sometimes you get bonus cards after the first card. And look what card number 3 is. We get an Andrew Miller, a gold card, going for about $10K. I'm going to sell this thing and get some better batters.